Talk to us about Solana. Maybe you can describe first what it is, and then we can go through the investment you guys made.
Yeah. So Solana is a blockchain founded in early 2018. We're the largest investors in it. The blockchain launched in March of last year. The token listed on Binance in April of last year. Today, I think it's number 6 or number 7 on CoinMarketCap. Solana is a smart contract blockchain, so it performs smart contracts. It is pretty radically different in the design than Ethereum. Across a number of dimensions, how the system routes data around, how it executes transactions, the programming languages. It's a very different take on a blockchain than Ethereum or Bitcoin, where Ethereum is kind of like Bitcoin's cousin in a lot of ways. Solana is just like a totally different animal. And the Solana team from inception, their number one priority was always make the system go as fast as possible, reduce the block times to be as quick as you can. Now, given the speed of light and the amount of time it takes to go around the world, you can get that down to maybe 200 milliseconds if you're lucky. Today, Solana is at about 400 milliseconds. And then enable it to execute transactions as fast as humanly possible. So leverage, parallel transaction processing on modern GPUs, which have, call it 4,000 cores, to execute as many transactions as quickly as possible. And Solana was designed from the ground up to do that, as efficiently as it can. And today it's, there's a thriving ecosystem building all kinds of stuff on Solana. There's DeFi, there's tons of social tokens, there's tons of NFTs, there's 2 kinds of games. There's just a whole huge amount of stuff all happening on Solana. Fees are super cheap, fraction of a penny to send a transaction. Transactions confirm within a second or 2. It's a really magical experience to use.
Talk to us about when you met the team and the initial investment that you guys made.
Yeah, I met Anatoly and Raj, who were the 2 primary co-founders, in April of 2018 and invested shortly thereafter. The original slide deck for Solana, the title slide, if you look at it, actually said NASDAQ for blockchain. Anatoly, who's the founder and CEO of Solana Labs, and the kind of the chief architect of the system, his vision from day one was, I want to run a central limit order book on the blockchain. He did not at the time, I think, have a conceptualization of modern DeFi and all of the interesting things happening there, but he understood that this was going to be useful for finance things. And he said, okay, you need to have an order book to run an exchange. And he designed to build, the world's largest, fastest decentralized order book engine. And Solana was that. That was his vision from day one. And it was very fortunate the blockchain launched in March or April of last year. And Sam from FTX came along like a month or 2 later, was really excited about DeFi and was like, can't build on Ethereum, never going to do what I wanted to do. Sam really wanted to build an order book. And Solana provided him the foundation he needed to build an order book. And so that turned into Serum. And Serum is now probably the most widely used piece of infrastructure for Solana-based DeFi applications.
What was the initial investment that you made? Because I think, from what I understand, this is probably one of the best venture investments in at least recent history. Walk us through kind of the dynamics of the investment and how you think about it in hindsight.
Yeah, so Solana raised money in May or so of that year. They raised another round in maybe August or September. Then kind of we went into crypto winter after the November crash in 18. We ended up buying out a lot of other investors who got cold feet after that crash. They did one more private round in June of 19, which we led. We led all 3 of those rounds. And then they did a coin list sale in March of 20, right as the blockchain launched. And the token's been trading freely since then. The token launched at, call it 40 or 50 cents. The last private round was at 22 cents, if I recall correctly. And I think today it's at 150 or 160. In terms of dynamics of the round, I mean, at the time, a lot of people didn't like Solana. Solana was a very, I'd say, not popular bet among the crypto crowd because it didn't feel like the other blockchains. It made a different set of trade-offs. And Anatoly was very focused on speed and performance, and much less focused on cryptography and academics and economics. And so it felt very weird, I think, to most crypto people. That's exactly what kind of drew us to what he was doing. Was the clarity of the vision. He said, I want to build a central limit order book on a blockchain. We didn't know if it was possible or not. I was actually kind of skeptical it could get done, but it got done. And he had the exact right background to build what he's built.
What was the cheapest price you ever bought the token at? Was it at that 20 cents or something lower than that?
There was the very first round was at 4 cents.
So when you think about that, is this kind of the, I think one of the big theses that you all have is like, it's venture capital like returns with kind of shorter timeframes to liquidity. Is this kind of a prime example of what you think the opportunity is outside of kind of Bitcoin or like the blue chip type assets in the space?
Yeah. I mean, so I don't think there's going to be another Solana. I'm not counting on it happening in my career. I would love it if it happens again, but I'm not expecting it to happen. It's just a very weird set of kind of historical circumstances that led the market as a whole to neglect this asset for such a long period of time, and only recently has the market kind of come around to appreciating it for what it is. But I think Solana today is pretty close to blue chip within crypto. I mean, it's number 6 or number 7, on CoinMarketCap, so it's pretty high up there. The opportunity from here is, question is, what's the upside? Is it at its peak? And the primary way to think about Solana is relative to ETH. Today, the market cap of Sol is 12 or 13% of Ethereum's, thereabouts. Obviously the bears will say it should be 1%. The bulls will say it should be equal to Ethereum. I mean, you have to kind of render your own judgment of how this thing is going to stack up and rank. I would say 6 months ago, it was still extremely non-consensus to acknowledge that something was going to give Ethereum a run for its money. Today, I think there are, a lot of intellectual capital within crypto believes Solana is going to coexist with Ethereum. Will it displace Ethereum? I don't know. I think it's actually pretty improbable. There's so much inertia around the Ethereum ecosystem. I don't think that can be displaced. But it's very clear that this thing is going to coexist. Solana today is growing at an extremely rapid pace. Users being onboarded, assets being issued, stable coins going into it, all of these things. Look at the last 90 days, it's just vertical line from, call it $1 billion in assets to like 10 billion.
You, on your initial investment, are up 3,750x, give or take, which is pretty incredible. I see your smile, which means that you've thought of that before. Talk to us about how you think about price movements today. So Solana ran all the way up to $200, $210, then it crashed down to $140, $150. It's almost hilarious to call it crash because it was at like $2 or $3 at the beginning of the year. How do you think about price volatility as a new network like this ends up getting repriced by the market?
Yeah, so we are not a trading firm, and I generally try and ignore prices to the best of my ability. I never actually really open CoinGecko or CoinMarketCap. I see prices as I scroll through Twitter, but if it weren't for that, I wouldn't know what the prices are. We don't kind of make we don't render judgment on short-term or even medium-term price movements. Our time horizon is measured in years, not weeks or months. So the question we've always asked ourselves is, is this network compounding at a sufficiently fast rate? And if you really go dig into developer activity, user onboarding, dollar flow in the system, all of those things right now are compounding at an astounding rate. And I don't think that's going to slow down. In fact, I can make pretty arguments for why it's going to accelerate. Does that mean Solana can't go down from here? No, dude, we can wake up tomorrow, it could be $50. That's on the table. Like, this is crypto, that just kind of happens. But we're super bullish Sol. And yeah, we're riding this thing out.
What's up, guys? Bang, bang. It's your boy Pomp. Thanks so much for watching the Best Business Show. Our goal is to make this the largest, most actionable business show in the world. And to do that, we need your help. We've partnered with SoFi as our exclusive sponsor because they have a piece of software that we think will help you take the information that we share on a daily basis and make it actionable. We want every single person to pursue and achieve financial security and financial freedom. In order to do that, you gotta act. And SoFi allows you to do it. So you can go to SoFi.com/pomp today. You can open up an account. And when you open up an account, you can invest in all sorts of different types of assets. ETFs, individual stocks, IPOs, Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies. They even have an automated investing function. If you want to invest, SoFi can help you. They've got a couple of different offers that you can benefit from. The first, open an invest account, and they'll give you up to $1,000 for free. Kind of a no-brainer. Second is if you go on and you buy one of the cryptocurrencies that they offer, they'll go ahead and they'll give you $10 of Bitcoin for free. And third, some of you are saying, I already have a brokerage account. I already have an account somewhere else. Right now, you can get up to $5,000 for transferring your account. That's right. SoFi doesn't care where your current account is, but if you transfer it from that place to SoFi, they'll pay you up to $5,000 for doing it. Why wouldn't you do it? It's up to $5,000 for free. Head on over to SoFi.com/pomp today to get started. And come back tomorrow and watch more of the Best Business Show. Together, we're going to build the biggest show in the world.